What's up, everyone? Today's all about the subject of economics. My goal is to go through everything you've ever wanted to know or needed to know for the subject in this video. Well, not everything, but the fundamentals. I want to help you understand how you can apply economic principles to everything around you. I first started studying economics in my freshman year of college. It was one of those business classes that you had to take. It was very confusing for me at the time and kind of boring. And it didn't really become exciting until I started to actually take an interest in the subject itself. It really helped that I had professors that were very passionate about the subject and were able to apply it in everyday situations. One of my professors kept mentioning this sentence over and over that really stuck with me. He said that people work and make their decisions based on incentives. So once I grasped this, I was able to apply this to everything around me and start to make sense of why economic decisions are made. When you are making a decision, you are trading in a scarce resource for something else. So you're trading in money or physical goods in the barter system, or you're trading in your time in exchange for something else. Are you receiving a physical good? Are you receiving entertainment? Are you receiving leisure? Anything that you are finding value in. You're going to trade this for this and hope that you're going to get more value from your new item as opposed to what you're trading in for, or else you won't make that decision. So you can apply economics to literally everything around you and every decision that's made, whether it's a country, it's your own personal life, it's your school, it's your place of employment, or it's the entire world. It's a fascinating subject. So first thing, what is economics? The subject is very broad and is defined by Merriam-Webster as a social science concerned chiefly with description and analysis of the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. So it's essentially involved with basically every single aspect of your life and the life of every human being since the beginning of time. There are two main subcategories of economics. There's microeconomics and there's macroeconomics. So think micro small, macro big. So we'll start with microeconomics. Microeconomics is the production, the distribution, and the consumption of goods and services for a specific area. This could be a firm, a school, a household, even your own body. It's basically the study of how each of these areas operate and how their decisions are made. Examples would be, should we turn the heat on in the house? Should we offer raises to our employees? Should I watch YouTube the rest of the night or study for my exam? We could break down each of these questions into economic principles and understand how decisions are made and why they're made. So decisions are made when people decide that doing or buying one thing outweighs the value of doing or buying something else. So your return is worth more to you than what you're giving up. For example, should we turn the heat on? So we may turn the heat on to help us be more comfortable, which is going to increase our productivity with whatever we're currently doing. Or we may choose not to turn the heat on because we're not going to see value in that. We see that the cost of gas and electricity outweighs the benefit of us being more productive. Should we raise our employees' salaries? Next, should we raise our employees' salaries? This is something that a lot of businesses have to go through their financial reports and try to figure out, are they going to be able to make this decision? There's also a social aspect to this, which is then considered whenever deciding, are you going to be paying people more for the work that they're currently doing? We would do this if you believe that the output of your employees is going to increase or your turnover is going to decrease. So you would not want to do this if you thought that your productivity was going to stay the same and you were still going to have the same rate of turnover, which is a very large expense for a company. Now, should you continue to watch YouTube videos the rest of the night, or should you start to study or do your chores around the house or whatever you're going to be doing? So you may continue to watch YouTube because you think that it's going to benefit your well-being. It's providing you entertainment, or it's providing you a way to learn faster than what it would take for you to learn from a textbook. Which reminds me, since you're already here, this would be a great time for you to click like in the video and subscribe to the channel. So the other side of economics is macroeconomics. So this is big. So unlike microeconomics, macro is the study of the economy as a whole. For example, an economist that's studying macroeconomics would be interested in overall inflation or deflation within an economy. the unemployment or employment of an economy, and the gross domestic product or GDP that's produced by a country or the world in general. Each of these topics are massive, and they're directly affected by the micro level decisions that are made. Hence, it is very important to grasp the concepts of both micro and macro in order to understand exactly what economics is. You can't really have one without the other. Micro is bottom up, macro is top down. Every decision made at the micro level will directly affect the macro in some way, whether it's a school, it's your own well-being, the country, or the world in general. And remember, people work for incentives. Now, an example of the incentives analogy. So, you've decided to skip your workout for the day and eat cookies and watch reruns of The Big Bang Theory all night. The incentive that you experienced was that you would feel comfortable rather than putting yourself through voluntary pain by going through a workout. You receive immediate satisfaction from the sugar in the cookies and tons of giggles while watching reruns on TV. So say that you did this once, just once. So say you did it tonight. This will affect you on the macro level in a minute amount. It's not going to change your life. Now say that you start to skip your workout every day. And every time that you skip it, you eat cookies and you watch television. You'll eventually start to realize that, man, my body's degrading, my mind's degrading, and people are going to start to take notice of this. So you might have people saying, hey, you started to put on a little extra weight, or maybe you're looking dirtier, or maybe your skin's not as young looking as it was. You also may end up at the doctor's office more often than you would like, which are going to increase your expenses. So now your incentive has kind of changed, and you're going to find a way to solve this new problem because that incentive is there. So now you're going to get back into the gym, you're going to start walking, eventually you're going to be able to run, you're going to start lifting weights again, so that you start to feel better, and you start to see your hospital you start to see your doctor's bills go down. You start to see the weird looks that you get from people start to decrease. And you start to get more compliments. You start feeling better about yourself. So that incentive will stay there, and you'll continue to work on these new habits. What I want you to do, I'm going to challenge you to start thinking about every decision that you're making throughout the day and kind of write them down. Just break down the incentives of why did I choose to do this rather than this? Was what I gave up actually worth more than what I received? You need to make sure that you go through all of these and start to apply them to your own daily life, so then you can start to apply it to your church, your school, your place of employment, your country, any type of organization that you can think of. You can start to break down how these decisions work and apply micro and macroeconomic principles. So I hope this video kind of helps you have a better understanding of micro and macro and economics in general. I hope it actually triggers some interest in you to go ahead and start studying more. I want to make a lot more economic videos going forward. I know that within my YouTube channel, I've kind of been all over the place, and I wanted to go ahead and pick a niche or a niche, or however you want to pronounce it, and I want to focus more on the economic side of business. I feel like this is something that I'm very interested in, and I want to share that with you. So it's been a while since I've made a YouTube video. I think it's been like 3 weeks, and the reason is because my wife and I just purchased a new home, so we're kind of still getting situated. I've kind of carved out my own area here to make these videos, so I definitely plan on making these more often going forward.